time for more Tavern Talk. Yay! Let's start another day. Ooh, who is it? Who is it? My shipment of infusions finally arrived this morning. I now have access to some fey crystals and frozen pine cones and fey crystals. That sounds good. Together with Fable's phoenix chilies. Oh, did it skip ahead? Yeah. I have 3 infusions now. Yay! Oh, quest. Okay. You can check the quest that you've already made here. Oh, and there's a map. Now there's more info for Care and Kyle. Yay! I'll unpack them later when I have some time. I have a feeling they'll be of use soon. Ooh, hello. So, Inkeep, a drink for me and this lanky pal. It's good to see you too, Care. She meant to say please. Welcome back, Fable. You look alive. Thank you, I am. That seems like a given. I'm just happy to see them doing well, and with a friend. We ain't friends. We're not? Oh, poor Fable. So you two didn't form a party? No. Oh. Then what's the drink about? They may be very annoying, but they did just help me solve a family feud of 10 years. So I do owe them some of your dishwater at the very least. Oi, who you calling, or what are you calling dishwater? Rude. Family feud? I wouldn't call it a feud, more of a miscommunication. No, it was a feud. I feel like feud implies a certain level of hostility. I was gonna kill him. I thought that was a joke. It wasn't. Oh. But no one died? No, Elfie here was able to prevent that. It's Fable. Whatever. Does this perchance have something to do with your quest? It does! I stopped her from killing the werewolf. Elaborate, please. I was going to kill the werewolf. They stopped me from killing the werewolf. What's not to get? A lot. I think she is confused because the quest was to save the villagers from the werewolf. And now it sounds like I saved the werewolf from you. Which I did. Kind of. I also remember you saying you didn't want the quest, Care. I didn't. Was there by chance. They were both stealing sheep. Was not. Sure was. Adventuring don't pay what it used to. So you steal other people's sheep? Mind your own business. How did any of this lead to a successful quest? Well, where do I start? How about at the beginning? Good idea. Right, I was born on a half-crescent dreaming moon. Of the quest, Fable. I want to know your life story, Fable. Right, the quest. Traveling there was no trouble. I know enough shortcuts to travel through the Ashen Grove swiftly. I reached the borders of Tragar and right around dusk. Dusk? The Ashen Grove thins out around there, and you can catch a glimpse of the wide fields and vineyards, as well as see one farm after the other. An idyllic sight. Well, at least before sunset. Do you have trouble in the dark? Emotionally? Visually? Little? I mean, I reckon I can still see more than a human could, but darkness is darkness, and I'm no owl. Thank God, you're already weird enough. Oi, mate. Imagine the damage you do if you could turn your head all the way around. Who says I can't? Just kidding. Anyway, luckily darkness doesn't affect my hearing. Not the normal kind. What? Nothing. Okay, I heard a creaking fence and footsteps that were failing at keeping quiet. Your ears are failing at being small. So I snuck closer and I saw a werewolf-esque shape picking up a tiny sheep. I was petting it. Well, I thought she was going to eat it, so I summoned up all my courage and stepped out of the shadows, and I said, "Good evening, werewolf. Please put down the sheep." I didn't expect them to be entirely in their right mind, of course, but I wanted to be polite. And I thought it might confuse her, and maybe that would help calm her down. It confused me, all right. Who the heck sees a werewolf and the first thing they do is greet them? A polite person. Or an insane one. It worked, didn't it? Because I ain't no werewolf. He wasn't that different. But I'm skipping ahead. To my surprise, instead of a growl, the werewolf, or not werewolf, responded with a, "What?" So the confusion plan had worked, but I hadn't really expected that response. So I said again, "Please put down the sheep." And she asked, "Why?" And I said, "Well, because stealing sheep isn't very nice." And she asked who I was. No, I asked, "Who are you, a guard?" I was about to introduce myself when we heard this blood-curdling howl. Sounded like someone had ripped a hole into the fabric of reality, then pierced it with a horrid yell. Please, it was barely a bark. I love their banter, it's so good. And it made the blood freeze in my veins. I heard panting and heavy footsteps. I barely dared to turn around. You turned around immediately. And when I did, I stared into the twisted face of a werewolf, yellow, gleaming eyes. Gleaming with jaundice. Sharp teeth, giant claws. He looked like he wanted to eat me right up. He did. But before I could beg for mercy, suddenly something rushed past me and run and lunged at the werewolf. When I regained my composure, Carolyn and the werewolf were on the ground, fighting tooth and nail. And the sheep you were holding? Obviously, I set it down at that point. Good. So you went to Fable's aid? No, that ain't it. I noticed the wolf's flannel rags. They were blue, checkered, and had an uneven print. Just like the kind of stuff Uncle Dragon likes to wear. That old shrunion. Hey, why can't I say that? Shrunion! What the shrunion? Youth protection. The age rating system is quite harsh. Shrunion. Anyway, seemed it was dressed like Uncle Dragon, smelled like Uncle Dragon, fought like him too. I was joking when I brought it up before, you know. Haven't seen that old man in years. Was coping about it by joking. That's the only way I can talk about him these days. Because of the feud? Yes. He used to be my favorite uncle, then he changed. Became irritable and angry, distant, fought a lot with Uncle Fedor. Cared more about the moon than he did his own family. Eventually he just left, ran away, without a word. Left us and Uncle Fedor behind, worried senseless. Till we found a letter saying not to look for him, and all their savings missing. Swore I was gonna kill him if I ever saw him again. Always thought he just couldn't face up to his problems. Turns out his solution was just to get those problems as far away from everyone as possible. Idiot. Did you talk it out with your fists? I tried, but Elfie stopped me. I'm glad they did. How did you figure that out? Well, she was yelling at him. I didn't understand half of it, but I could tell she was angry and hurt. I tried to get their attention by telling them to stop, but they wouldn't listen, so I shot an arrow right next to both of their heads. Oh my god. My aim was a little shaky, so I did end up grazing Mr. Dragon's ear. But it got them to stop for long enough to start listening to me. I threatened them that if they didn't stop to talk, I would shoot them both. I would have never done that, of course. But they must have believed me, because I actually stopped to listen. Looked mighty scary there, little pal. Thank you. Question mark? I guess. I sat them down and did my best to be an insurmountable obstacle between them. If they wanted to fight, they would have to go through me. That sounds rather dangerous. 'Twas. Wouldn't have stopped for them. What? You're the size of a stick. You think you could stop 2 angry wolves? Oh, well, anyway. I used the opportunity to figure out what was going on. And that's how I found out about Mr. Dragon and Carolyn and the miscommunication. Feud. The feud, sure. Turns out that after Mr. Dragon was turned, he was too ashamed to admit it. But he couldn't stop the changes and ended up hurting all the people he cared about. That's no excuse, of course. No, it ain't. If we had known, we'd have helped him best we could. At the very least, we would have built a sturdy shed with scratch-proof walls for full moons. He didn't think that would have happened, though. So he decided to fix the problem by leaving, deal with it alone, and so on. But that only made it worse. Of course, he was too embarrassed to come back, so he just focused on the whole werewolf thing and not any human things, or Vukakin things, so to speak. Trying to find a cure, trying to avoid the moon, trying to find a place to sleep, stealing sheep. That's something they have in common. The sheep? No, the stubbornness and the unwillingness to ask for help. But the sheep, too. But they had to talk about it. The silent resentment wasn't good for either of them. And you got them to do that? The little stick is oddly persuasive. I had us talking about it before I even realized I didn't want to. Maybe because you did want to. Oh. Maybe. How did it go? Fine. We'll take some time to accept his apology. We'll have to see him change first, and apologize to Uncle Fedor and the rest. But it was good to see him again. Guess a hug did feel better than a greatsword in his gut. Wonderful. Of course, there's still the problem with the whole werewolf thing. Idiot got so obsessed with the cure he can still barely control himself. We helped him realize that even a cure couldn't change what he'd done. That he has to accept he's different now and learn how to live again. Of course, it won't be easy. No change ever is. I learned that from you. Oh, Fable, I love you. You're wonderful. But we have a group of werewolves living near our settlement. A small community that enjoys the company of our warm trees. We play charades with them a lot, and they taught me about the phases of the 7 moons and the secrets of the moon signs. Ooh! I want to play games with werewolves and learn things about the moons. Ooh. That sounds like a bunch of shrunion. It's real. You're a crescent moose. What? We introduced Mr. Dragon to them, and they promised they would take him in and help him deal with his lycanthropy. That sounds great. It is. It's a happy ending. I wouldn't call it an ending, rather the beginning of something new. So the end of one adventure is just the beginning of another one? Exactly. I like that. Yee! Good happy ending. I'm so proud of you, Fable. You were so uncertain about going on that quest, but you did it. I knew I could believe in you. I'm sorry. So after your heroic therapy session, you two decided to grab a drink together? Got offered to spend the day at the settlement, but they don't serve anything strong enough for my tastes. Plus, Elfie was dying to get back here. Was talking about they needed to update you on everything non-stop. Would think they live here or something. I had to report back about the quest. I'm glad you did. They also started crafting something with the werewolves. Said something about it being for you, Winky. Oh, really? Yeah. It's not finished yet, but I'll let you know, I promise. That wasn't that hard, was it? Well... What a strange pair, but I like it. So, a drink. What can I offer you, Care? Surprise me with something that fits my brawn. By which, I mean, make me the usual. Strength never gets old. Yay! Drink time, drink time! Undo! I love you, Undo! Undo, you're the best. Hee. Okay, so strength drink. Let's make a drink. Let's make a drink. Southern Brawler. Okay. Mostly strength. I love the music in this game, and the visuals are so nice. It's just so good. It's very comfy. Alright. So this has strength, charisma, and defense. Hello, Undo. I love you, Undo. You're the best. Nailed it. Surprise. Not bad. You should do this professionally. I'll think about it. Fable, what about you? Do you have something that'll calm me down? Maybe even bring some of my agility back? Like a swift strike back to my senses. I've had a stressful day, night, morning, sequence of events. That's a mood. Alright, swift strike for Fable. This one is dexterity based. It's a very... It almost looks like a horn. It looks pretty cool. Oh, it looks like a dragon horn. Okay, defense. Not defense. Dexterity. I'm just having so much fun. Oh, did I do too much? I think I did. Yeah, I did too much. Undo, here you go, buddy. I love you, Undo. You're the best. Alright, let's be careful. Here we go. Okay, so now we also need intelligence and defense. There's that. Yay, swift strike. Yee. All these drinks look so good. I know that some people make like cookbooks and recipes based on like video games and movies and whatnot. It would be really cool if they could come out with like a drink mix menu of different recipes to sort of like mimic these drinks. They might not have the same magical appearance, but it would be really cool to try them. Here you go. Thank you. Wow, this is perfect. Yay! I'm so glad. You look tired. Have you considered sleep? They do look like they're gonna pass out any second. So do you. Maybe sleep is a good idea. Carolyn, do you have a place to sleep? I can sleep anywhere. It's a talent. Are you a cat? It's depressing. I have a room available. You can stay there. Sounds good. How much? I'll count it as payment for your help with the quest. Fine. Later, Elfie. See you later. Oh, poor Fable. Are you heading home, Fable? Yes, I've been gone for a whole day. I need to get back and make sure everything is still growing correctly. Maybe take a nap first. Yes, that too. Did you enjoy your first quest? I did. It was scary and different from what I expected. And I didn't know I was so good at pretending to be charming. I hope that charisma drink we made for them helped boost a little bit of their confidence. Have you considered that you weren't pretending? You did well, Fable. Thank you. I do hope that wasn't my only adventure. I think this is just the beginning. That will be nice. Do you think I'm going to save the world one day? That's a very tall order. You're right. I'm not cut out for that. I didn't say that. I would just prefer it if the world didn't end. Right. But if it does, you're the first person I'd ask for help. Maybe you should ask Carolyn first, but I'd be happy to be second. We'll see. Let's hope we won't. I like this world, and you have a point. We shouldn't hope for such a calamity. Even if it would make for a good song. Or a sad one. Or both. I'm gonna head home now. Do that. I'll stock up on quests for you. I can't wait. See you soon. See you soon. Ooh, I hope they didn't just jinx it. I'm gonna take a sip of tea. Ooh, the day-night cycle is so pretty. We can see his face now. I'm gonna take a sip of tea. Well, you can admire his face. Or their face. Good evening to you too. Oh, they picked up the quest. This quest. It wasn't here yesterday. That is correct. I bumped my microphone, I'm sorry. It seems dangerous. It is. And mysterious. Sure. Like me. You could be a little less mysterious by telling me your name. Zephir. Did the wind carry you in? I'm sorry, I was just trying to make a joke. I'm sorry. No, my legs. I want that quest. Well, you can have it. Not just literally, physically, emotionally. Emotionally? I want to take on that quest. Go to the castle to get the cape. I mean, yes. Well, no one has gone to the castle yet, so if someone would like to go, they would be welcome to. So you know of the castle? Yes? It seems strange. It is. A vampire lives there. I heard rumors, whisperings, of a strange, fiendish woman residing there. What a coincidence. Me too. Has she ever frequented your tavern? No, not recently. I love the music in this game. It's just so good. Please put a soundtrack on like iTunes or something. I want it. It's just so good. But she has? Once. Had a vampire mixer. Interesting. So she was only here at night? Yes. Would you say that she was unnaturally pale? No, she had a lot of makeup on. But below that mask. Sure, yes. Would guess she looks pretty dead below that. What kind of drink did she order? Blood. Interest. You sell blood? Of course. Whose blood? ... Did you hear about wolves avoiding the castle? I'm just gonna not answer that question at all. But now I am wondering, like, whose blood are we selling? Is it my own? Is it someone else's? Oh. Really? All of them? Yes. She has a lot of werewolf traps set up, but all animals seem to steer clear of Marrow Castle. They say its doors are always locked, so nothing can go inside or leave. And anything that tries to merges into her land in one way or another. Is a grave, a pile of decorative bones, dirt feeding rotting flowers. They say death clings to her doorstep like an everlasting melody. Sounds like a strange place. Like a tomb for something still alive. Or for a goth. Goth or vampire, she seems to be a thief. It appears so. Do you not sympathize with that? Thievery is an honorable skill, but it must be performed in secret. Or you're not worth the coins you pocket. Also, stealing a man's cape is just plain rude. I suppose. Only thing worse than that is stealing a man's hat. Not if it's cursed. Especially then. Point is, if you can't defend yourself from having your trophies reclaimed, you must live with the consequences. The consequences being you? Exactly. It definitely sounds like you know what you're doing. Of course I do. I am one with the shadows and the wind, gone before they even notice I'm there. So you could easily swipe something else along with the cape, right? Certainly, gold, gemstones, other treasures, whatever pays the bills. What about some interior decorations? Like what, for example? Just something to pretty up my tavern a little bit. Do you want like a chair, a sofa? What sorts of interior decorations are you asking for in keep? Maybe something useful that also doubles as a decoration. Like a chair? Stealing a whole chair sounds a little too ambitious for your first quest with me. I'd prefer something smaller, like a little trinket. My walls are still a bit empty. Wait, you're being serious? Absolutely. A memento that once belonged to an eccentric vampire sounds like a wonderful addition to the tavern. I'll see what I can do. You won't be disappointed. Well then, I trust you to deliver yourself to her doorstep and the cape back to me, along with a neat little addition to my interior design. Sounds like I'll need a few stamps. Would you like some? No, too traceable. How about a drink then? I could do with one of those. Heard your drinks inspire transformations of great magnitude. Allow you to dip into parts of yourself that you weren't previously aware of. Raise yourself up from your shadow. Say, what do you trade them for? Secrets. Secrets. I have many. I want to know your secrets. Grant me one. I shall. I know this may come as a shock to you, but I was here before, just yesterday. You may not remember because you barely noticed me in the shadows. I was so stealthy, I spent hours just watching you from afar. That is definitely a secret. You cleaned a lot of glasses, served everyone with a smile. You looked so worried after the adorable green one left. Aww. Zephir called Fable adorable. That's so cute. I could ship it. Like you thought they might trip straight into a monster's maw. You're swift with your hands and fast with the knife. Alright, enough secrets. You may have one of my renowned drinks. And some of my renowned infusions. In fact, I just got a fresh shipment today. Was finally able to unpack them. Fusions? Intriguing. What vile magic do you have to offer? For your purposes, I think you could benefit from either some fey crystals or a frozen pine cone. Ooh. Yay! And now you can see infusions. And the page for them will show what sort of extra ability it will grant the drink if you add it. Ooh. Ooh, intriguing. Okay. The frozen pine cones have absorbed some of nature's icy properties. They can help you form a magical frost barrier that will hurt those trying to harm you. The fey crystals hail straight from Avalon, allegedly. If consumed, they'll turn you invisible. Eventually. And for a bit. The duration is a bit unpredictable. I've also got some phoenix chilies, but I don't think those would be very useful for your situation. Interesting. So, what dark depths of yourself are you looking to explore? I fear that Lady Evelyn may be of the undead nature, so I must be strong and vigorous if I want my stake in her heart before she... I'm sorry, I'm just having so much fun with that accent. Before her fangs are near my neck. Though that does sound appealing. Strength I can do. And some frost armor should help with the fangs. Or perhaps the smarter route would be to evade her wrath entirely. To out-stealth her and steal the cape from right under her pale nose. So that she may lie in the shame of having lost against me. I think such an approach would require a certain amount of dexterity. And some invisibility could help with staying unseen, should my speed and agility not be enough. Help me with the decision, Innkeep. Your wisdom is no secret, is it? Ooh, okay. Now that I have access to infusions, I have to be careful of how they interact with other ingredients. They might alter the drink in a way where I have to use different ingredients than usual. I should make sure to keep an eye on the coaster shape so that I mix the correct recipe. Maybe I should even try adding an infusion first and adjusting the drink from there. Let's give it a try. Ooh, okay, so there's 2 different ways we could do this. We could either go with strength with frost resistance or dexterity with invisibility. Like with Fable, because Fable is very dexterous, so I went with the charisma, because what they needed was the confidence. So I feel like Zephir is already very speedy and good at being unseen, so I feel like boosting the strength and the frost resistance would be a good call for him. Alright. Ooh, Zephir! The moon. He, they. Ah, so cool. Now you can see more here. Moon swamp. Okay. Let's see now. Alright, so drink. So let us go with strength with the frozen pine cone. Draw a recipe. Frozen pine cone. Here's that. Ooh, nice. And it changes the star in the center there. Okay. So we need... So typically Southern Brawler is this. Okay. More strength. So when it automatically starts with triangles in different areas, it means that it will automatically give you a boost towards there. So that way you actually don't need to add as much of the other stats as you would normally. There's that. Southern Brawler! Yay! Okay. I love you, Wandu. Thank you. Alright. Ooh, yay! Here you go. A drink that all vampires fear. Liquid Sunrise? Not quite, but that's a good name. May I steal it? You don't ask for permission before you steal something, innkeep. Then it's no longer a clever ruse, but a mere trade. I see. Did you hear about my new drink, the Liquid Sunrise? It's so good. Huh. Good one. Tastes like the sun, a cold sun, and I shall strike her down as such. The sun? Evelyn. Ah, that makes more sense. Goodbye, innkeep. I would say, pray that the sun will carry me back to you. My hopes do not lie with the realm keepers, and I shall be damned if they control my fate. Expect to see me again after the next sunfall. If you do not, speak of vengeance. Oh, he's so cool! Vengeance makes for an early grave. Or for a good story. Farewell. Ooh! Oh, so mysterious. Or for a bitter end. Care! Hello, Care. Ooh, are you taking a quest? I'm taking this quest. And a drink. Great. Did you sleep well? What? Sleep. How was it? Ah, fine. Too long. Didn't sleep that much in ages. Sounds like you needed it. No, your beds are just too comfortable. It was hard to get up. Of course. My apologies. I'll make sure to take your feedback into consideration. Would you like a drink as compensation? Think I already said that. Make me something strong that'll wake me up. And keep me up too. Ooh, okay. Strong, so strength. I'm making so many Southern Brawlers today. It's fine. Alright. No infusions for this one. Let's see. There's that. And charisma and defense. There's that. Man, I'm getting so good. I love you, Wandu. Thank you, Wandu. You're the best. Something strong coming right up. That is strong, just the right amount of too much. Maybe I should call this drink the Carolyn. No, you shouldn't. Anyway, the quest. Yes, the quest. I'm taking it. So you said. I see it as my turn to make conversation. I miss Fable. Isn't it a bit too soon for another quest? You just returned. It's been hours since I've done anything but sleep, chat, and drink. I'm getting antsy. If I sit still for too long, it feels like my bones are disintegrating, and I forget who I am. I think that's called boredom. It's torture. That too. Well, boring is not what I would call this quest in the slightest. Stealing from a chimera for a vampire's sunscreen? Couldn't get more reckless than that. It could by taking Elfie along. Fair point. Please don't. I won't. So, the saliva's for a vampire? Vampire sunscreen. Can't a vampire get their chimera goo themselves? It's a wyvern chimera. Vampires and fire don't mix too well. Also, if everyone just did their own quests, the quest economy would be in shambles. Suppose that'd be terrible for your business. Indeed. Does it bother you that it's for a vampire? No. Does it make you nervous? No. You did mention that you like fangs. Did I mention that I have a great sword 3 times the size of your head? I'm sure a vampire would find that impressive. Have you ever encountered a chimera before? No, not a real one. Got me thinking, ain't it kind of blasphemous to steal from a draconic guardian? Depends. Are you religious? Guess not. Then no. Would it be if I was? Don't think so. Chimeras steal riches all the time. They were created to be guardians by the protectors of the realms. So, stealing something to protect someone else seems in line with the doctrine. Good thing you ain't a priest. You do a piss-poor job. Thank you? Is blasphemy what you're most worried about? I ain't worried. Okay, nervous? Ain't that either. Then what is it? Excitement, I suppose. Excitement? Don't laugh. I'm not laughing. I'm asking. Yes, excitement. I've never encountered a guardian before. I've always sort of wanted to. Why haven't you? Ain't exactly easy to find one, or to survive one. This seems like a great opportunity for you then. It is. What's it about guardians? It's less about the guardian and more about what created it. And maybe a little bit about the chimera. It's got a dragon head, right? Yes, modeled after its creator, I would guess. So, let me rephrase that. What is it about dragons? And chimeras with dragon heads? They're cool. I agree, I love dragons. Also, when I was little, my Baba used to tell me bedtime stories about the dragons every night. She was a great adventurer and encountered many of their creations on her journeys. Not sure if it's true, but she always claimed she met each of the realm keepers themselves. Had little keepsakes from them and all. My sword's one of those. Passed it on to me before she passed. Left. One day she was just gone. I think she wanted to spend her last moments somewhere else. Like to think she visited one of her dragons one last time. Your family has a leaving problem. At least she left our savings alone. That sword and her stories are all I have left of her. Going on this quest, it almost feels like I'm stepping into a memory of hers. Did she ever tell you about a wyvern chimera? No. Was the only kind she never encountered. Had quarrels with those feline ones, different varieties of scales, even a cow one, I think, but never found a wyvern one in all of her years. It would have been nice to tell her the story when I return. If I return. I'm sure you will. You can tell the story to me. I don't know if I make up for a good baba, but I do enjoy a good tale. I'll think about it. You already got me talking too much. This is you talking too much? So, you like dragons? I do! I want like 5,000 exclamation points at the end of that. They're fascinating creatures. Very interesting. Very magical. They are. Fascinating and magical. Used to pretend I was one when I was little. Really wanted their magic. And their wings. You can just ask them for their magic. Not sure about their wings. I ain't a priest either. Besides, I'm a warrior. Don't do all that magic shrunyon. Why not? I like my sword and my muscles. They're a good combo. And I don't need to rely on anyone, not even dragons. A little help never hurt anybody. Little self-reliance don't either. If you say so. Does that mean you don't want a drink to pep you up, Care? Didn't say that. I see. That doesn't count as help? It's prepayment for me taking on your quest. Sure. You'll be happy to hear that I have some incredible infusions to offer that could greatly help with your quest. No, that sounds unnecessarily complicated. Let's keep it simple. Alright, what can I get you then? I reckon a little bit of boost for this body couldn't hurt. Heard they're quick and toothy, so I'll need to be too hardy for its bite. Some defense might come in handy. Or something for the brain. Baba talked quite a lot about how they enjoy a good ruse. Maybe I can outsmart it with the right play. But I'd need some intelligence for that. Won't be risking it all on a bad idea. Are you sure you don't want any infusions? Just a little bit of a phoenix chili would make you fire resistant. That could be very useful in a fight. Dragons, you're stubborn. Sure, I'll try one. And on the topic of trickery? No, one is enough. Either you mix defense with your weird chilies, or you go heavy on the intelligence. Don't need any more of your fancy tricks. I don't care which one you pick. That's your job. Figure it out. Oh, okay. Ooh. I'm leaning towards intelligence just because she's already very high on defense and strength. So, I'm gonna make the intelligence drink. Also because it's very pretty. It's very pretty. Okay. So that one is heavy on intelligence and charisma. Intelligence and charisma. Intelligence and charisma. Oh, did I do too much? Yes, I did. I put too much. Undo. Thank you. Undo toi. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Okay. Charisma. 2 of charisma. Yay! Nailed it! Hee! So sparkly! It's pretty! Figured it out. Thanks. Hope you seasoned it with some trickery. It does feel weird, like my brain is sparkling. No refunds. How urgent is the sunscreen? Pretty urgent. The sun tends to not take a break, even for vampires. Maybe you should sunbathe less then. That might solve his problems. Might. But when has an easy solution ever been fun? Good point. I'll see what I can do. Maybe they got some mice in that mangrove. Good luck. Won't be needing it. I'll be waiting to hear of your exploits upon your return. I believe in you, Care. Yay! Is that another day done? It is! So every time you help them by essentially choosing which type of attempt they make, it will influence the endings that they get. And there are multiple endings that are possible for this game. So the replayability is really nice in that the next time you play through it, you can try giving them the other drink just to see how the quest changes for them. Ooh, it's so cool! Ooh, Starlight Sonata. Alright, I think I will end it here and we'll play more next time. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a very comfy night. Bye!